Hello and welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation with me, your host, Owen. Guys, first of all, I'm going to start off with saying a massive thank you to Victoria Searle, who came on the podcast with me last night. If you haven't checked out the podcast, please head back and check out the podcast. Loads of interesting talk about the Motherwell game, about the players out of contract, about Alfie. Tons of content there. Please go and check it out. Anyway, let's get you the latest Rangers news this morning with all the very latest from the most successful football team in the world, Glasgow Rangers. Guys, and remember, if you haven't already done so, hit that sub, ring that notification bell, and come and join the Glasgow Rangers Nation for your daily update on Rangers. Anyway, let's talk all things Rangers. Let's talk first of all about contracts, transfers. Before we talk a little, obviously, we're going to bring up Alfredo Morelos, Ryan Kent. We're going to bring up Freddie Woodman, who's a goalkeeper, and we're also going to talk about Ridvan Yilmaz as well, who has been surprisingly linked with a return to Turkey. Let's start off by talking about someone who isn't a Rangers player. Let's talk about Freddie Woodman. So, what do we know about Freddie Woodman? Freddie Woodman is a goalkeeper for Preston North End. He is also, in his past, been a keeper for Newcastle United. He has had time on loan at Aberdeen, at Kilmarnock, and is pretty much, singled out has been a very, very talented goalkeeper and has been linked with Rangers. Now, obviously, Rangers are looking probably to move on from 41-year-old Alan McGregor this summer, with the likelihood that McGregor will retire. Now, Rangers, to secure Freddie Woodman, would have to pay the sum of £3.5 million to sign this 26-year-old number one from Preston. He has been watched by the Ibrox scouts on a number of occasions, it is said, by multiple media sources, both national newspapers in England, local newspapers in England, as well as papers in Scotland, and websites linked to both teams have talked of Rangers' interest in this goalkeeper. With Rangers heavily interested in Woodman, they're going to have to be 100% sure that he is the long-term answer, given the fact that they're going to be laying down a substantial amount of money for a goalkeeper. £3.5 million is a considerable amount. It was reported on Ibrox News today that Rangers obviously are interested and said, when you're in Rangers' situation, I know the goalkeeper is important, but you need to be very certain. I don't think Rangers have got a massive pot of money for this summer, so £3.5 million will be a big outlay on a goalkeeper. Alan McGregor has been a fantastic goalkeeper at Ibrox. He's probably in the top three of all time there, but I think he'll retire in the summer, and we are not really convinced that John McLaughlin is number one type material. He might be a good backup. So if Rangers are absolutely certain that Woodman is going to be their number one for a fair few years, they need to pay the money. So it looks like Rangers may well splash the cash on Woodman and bring him to Ibrox as their number one. Now, the other piece of news, obviously, that came out, and I will get on to Kent and Morelos, obviously, in a minute, was surrounding Ridvan Yilmaz. Now, it was rumoured in a number of websites and a number of papers that Ridvan Yilmaz was seeking a move back to Turkey, and it was initially a loan, and then a permanent transfer back to Besiktas. However, it is pretty much looking like that was zero truth and was just a load of rumours dreamt up by the Turkish media. Now, given the amount of money that Rangers paid for Yilmaz, and given the fact that he is now obviously getting a run in the team, he is highly unlikely that he is to return to Turkey. It certainly seems that this story is 100% made up by the Turkish media, and that Yilmaz will not be returning to Besiktas and does have a long-term future under Michael Beale at Rangers. Certainly good news, and gives us two outstanding left backs in Borna Barisic and Ridvan Yilmaz. So good news there that there is zero truth in that Yilmaz rumour. And, if you look at the fact that this lad can offer so much, going forward and in defence, it is a quality signing for Rangers, and certainly great that we are keeping hold of him for the long term.
Now, the rumours continue and surround Alfie and what his future is. Ali McCoist, speaking today, said that he was disappointed. Obviously, well, he's at National. He would be disappointed if Alfie left for nothing, given the fact that in the past, Rangers have turned down a £16 million bid from Lille, a Ligue 1 side, for him. And Rangers dug their heels in and decided to keep him, which obviously in the long run proved a good thing to do. Obviously, Alfie helping us win Title 55 and get to Europa League final. But the rumours continue to swirl around his future and what will happen to Alfie once his contract ends at the end of this season. There is, like I said, a very strong likelihood, according to a lot of the rumours that are coming out of those in the know at Ibrox, that he is going to be allowed to move on and leave. Now, I suppose one thing to take into consideration, he only cost 1 million. Well, I say only. He cost £1 million from HJK. I think we've more than had our money's worth for him. But it does seem very gutted that he will leave for nothing and we won't get a single penny for Alfie, despite what he can still contribute to any team across Europe. Ali McCoist, obviously speaking on Viaplay on Sunday, said that we don't know but the likelihood is that he looks as though he is off. He scored some great goals and been a great servant to the club. I think if he does go, he'll go with the thanks of the Rangers supporters, and that's the way it should be. I don't think he's reached the form he was at earlier on in his career, and maybe he needs a fresh challenge. Time will tell, and it will be a disappointing thing with me. My penny pinching head on that they're losing him for nothing. They could have made a real few quid on him a year ago. But having said that, he's been a great servant and he's given the fans some great memories. So obviously, it seems that Ali McCoist, Rangers legend and former manager, does think that Alfie will be likely off at the end of the season and the Rangers obviously won't receive a penny for him. But interesting comments there from Rangers legend Ali McCoist. Now let's turn obviously to Ryan Kent. Again, there is an awful lot of speculation around Ryan Kent's future. Now, Ryan Kent has been linked with a move to Leeds United and to Burnley. But at time of recording, Burnley are in the process of going through a transfer embargo. And obviously, they are top of the Championship, likely to be promoted back to the Premier League. Leeds are currently in the bottom three at time of recording in the Premier League, so could well be relegated. So how much money they've got, whether they're able to spend wages, and I know obviously Kent is free, but it'd be wages, is unknown. There is obviously a possibility that if Premier League comes calling, with the fact that the Premier League can offer him more wages and more money than Rangers are able to do, Kent could have his head turned by a Premier League outfit. Now, Kent is currently starting for Beale and obviously trying to display that he is wanting to keep Ryan Kent. The fact that he has faith in Kent. Also, the fact that Kent played some of his best football under Steven Gerrard and Michael Beale during that title-winning season is something that may encourage Kent to stay in Glasgow. Kent has fitted in well with the two new signings that were brought in by Beale in Cantwell and Raskin. And obviously, there is a strong likelihood, I think now, that Kent will remain at Rangers, given obviously the manager's faith in him and the fact that a number of the players are urging him to remain. And the fact that obviously that he has had a previous experience of working under Michael Beale and doing exceptionally well. Well, guys, obviously the last piece of news I want to talk about is the fact that Glasgow Rangers will be the fourth match when they play Celtic on the Hampden pitch, which is not good at all. If you consider that the Hampden pitch is not the best of all and is often resembles a ploughed field, there's a strong likelihood that come the actual match day that pitch could resemble something again of a ploughed field when Rangers come to play Celtic. Like I said, they will be the fourth match out there. Now, if we look across, I think there was two women's semi-finals, first of all, on previous weekends before even the men's semi-finals take place. Now, Rangers semi-final will take place on Sunday the 30th at 1:30, with the other semi-final taking place on the Saturday the 29th. Now, obviously, hopefully by April the weather will improve, but if the weather is obviously shocking and wet and thing, it really could turn that pitch into a bit of a quagmire, which will not suit the passing styles of either Old Firm giants. So the Scottish FA are being urged to make sure that something is put in place to take care of that pitch and make sure that pitch is in a good condition for the Scottish Cup semi-finals to be played, and to make sure that the best calibre of football can be played on those pitches. And not allow them to get into a dreadful state like they had earlier in the year. Well, Rangers fans, let me know what you think of all these rumours, transfer rumours, speculation. It's going to heat up between now and the end of the season, obviously, with the fact that there are multiple players out of contract, 9 in total if you include Malik Tillman, and the fact that there are obviously players that need to be replaced and positions that need to be filled as well at the club, and that Michael Beale will be seeking to bring in his own people going forward. Well, Rangers fans, thank you so much for watching. Please continue to hit that sub, ring that notification bell, and give this video a like. And drop me a comment below and let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, guys. No surrender, guys, ever. Not to like green and white mob. We are the people.